What if there was a way to help your patients improve their overall health by making it so easy for them to switch out the toxic products for ones that are so much better for them? Well, it is possible, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, how to generate an additional revenue stream by helping your patients find, select, and use products that you recommend that are going to help them feel better and have a healthier life. We don't want to give the money to Amazon and Target. We want to keep it right in your pocket. So let's go. I'm going to show you how right now. Welcome to the Clinical Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Rhonda, your no fluff, tell it like it is business bestie for wellness practitioners just like you who want to build a practice you love and make a bigger impact and a little money while you're at it. So if you're ready to ditch the overwhelm, attract your dream, ideal patients, and finally run your practice with complete confidence, you're in the right place. Each week, we're tackling things from programs to patient retention to marketing strategies that actually work, sprinkled, of course, with a little sass, a lot of heart, and the step-by-step strategies that will help you get there. So grab your cup of coffee, your notebook, or whatever keeps you going, and let's build a practice you love and a life you love together. Hey friends, welcome back. I'm excited about this topic. I've been thinking about this for a while. It's been kind of noodling around in my head, and I really wasn't sure how I wanted to put it together for you. And then after last week's episode, we were talking about the 12-month growth plan. This was diversifying your revenue and creating different revenue streams. We talked about a program, a little short, time-based program. We talked about this topic briefly, this auto ship, which we're going to dive into. And then we talked about a wellness membership. So that was last week's episode. If you missed it, you're going to go to rondanelson.com, click on podcast, and you'll find the episode from last week. It was episode 40, season 2, episode 40. So this is number 41, and we're going to go a little deeper on the how and the why to create. Basically, we're creating revenue, but we're going to capture is a better word. We're going to capture revenue that is being spent elsewhere, and we're going to bring it right into your pocket. So are you ready? Here we go. So I think when we think about the things that we give their patients right now are mostly supplements, right? We're going to be giving them supplements. You might have Celtic sea salt that you sell, which is great. It's fine. Dry skin brush or whatever. I remember back in the day in the late 2000s, early 2010s-ish, it was really popular. Soap nuts were popular. Do you remember those? Does anybody remember those? They came in a box and they were little round brown nuts. And they said, oh, you just put them in your washer and you wash it. And they have naturally they're soapy and they'll clean your clothes. So it was all the rage. So I sold so many of those soap nuts and come to find out they didn't work very well. But, you live and learn. Kind of like noni juice or mangosteen. Do you remember those? Don't get me started. These multi-level things. Anyway, so I've had so many of those little things that I used to sell, like Badger products and lip balms and, skincare and that kind of thing. And everybody really loved it. And it was things that they either wouldn't have thought to buy that they saw a need for, like a dry skin brush. I sold hundreds and hundreds of those. And I had a little diagram that showed the patient how to use it, how to start at the fingertips and run up towards the heart, legs up, butt up, and head and face down, and always ending kind of towards the collar, the neck, or the heart. And everyone loved those. They felt better. Their energy was up. Their skin was glowing. It was great. It was great. So these are things that you want to think about, things that someone doesn't realize that they need, but is going to benefit their health, or the things that they're already buying out somewhere else. Why can you not be the source for those purchases? And you rightfully should be. So when we think about this, your supplement protocols, they're going to change. So putting supplements on auto ship, I don't know, I'm kind of not always a fan for that. I think if you have a wellness membership and you put your supplements on auto ship, that might be different because there might be things that you really are going to send them. And maybe it's an every 60-day auto ship or something like that. And you just set it up in Fullscript and they just, you auto ship. I don't know. I think there's a way to do that. But I think that because of the work that we do, it's not as easy to do that because our protocols change. But there are things that we can expose the patients to that are going to help them live a healthier life, have better cleaning products, think about their kitchen a little bit differently, maybe even the food that they eat a little bit differently. We're not going to be shipping them, tomatoes. but things that they could use in the kitchen, maybe kitchen gadgets, or like one time I had, this was the coolest gift. And I forgot about this till I was just thinking about it right now. It was the coolest gift. It was an herb, it was like a little roller ball, and you could put the herbs in it, like fresh herbs like mint or, something like that. You put the herbs in it and you rolled this little ball inside, and it was real gentle how it didn't, so it didn't tear them up, but it would like cut up the herbs and it made them real small. You could kind of adjust it for how fine or large you wanted the pieces. I used that thing so much until it broke finally. And I kind of just forgot about it till just now. But those are the little things I'm talking about. Now I'm going to go look for it. You know what I'm going to do? Case in point, I'm going to go to Amazon and I'm going to go look for it and see if I can find that thing, because I used it so much, it finally just literally fell apart. I had it for probably 3 or 4 years. So things like that you can give someone that help them, it helps your patient. Why would I give my money to Amazon? I would much rather give it to you. And if you could help me have those products, I'm happy to buy them from you. So this is why an auto ship for supplements may not work, but it really could work amazingly well. Or even if it's not an auto ship of the same product, I should clarify, because that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, how do we get in their hands different things that they could buy from us? And then the other thing is, you can decide, like, you might hit on a winner, like the dry skin brush. It was when I started to recommend them to patients, then everyone started wanting one. And I thought, well, why don't I just carry them in the office? And I could hardly keep them in stock. So I want you to think about this recurring revenue stream as a way to capture the money that they're spending elsewhere, and we're just going to bring it to you. So shift the thinking. Instead of like, auto shipping the same thing, we're kind of creating a club. It's almost like a little membership. They're going to pay once a month. You're not going to bill them random amounts because no one's going to agree to that. But you're going to kind of set your price point and then say, okay, I'm going to make sure that I deliver the products, a product or maybe two, that fit within that budget. So we're gonna put it like a membership, but it's like an auto ship. And I said last week in the podcast, there are things that are subscription boxes. I don't know if you've ever had them, but like when you get food delivery from like, what is it? Not Pampered Chef. What's chef ones? Fresh, whatever's Hello Fresh or whatever it is. Those food ones, that's like a subscription box, right? You open it up and you have all the things inside. I'm not talking about going to that length. Just saying, identify a couple of products. If you have a brick and mortar, this is real easy for you because you can order them in and you can bag them all up, and then you give them out to the patients, tell them that they're here, they're ready, and it's ready to go for you. I'm not asking you to turn into like a shipping station. We're not doing that. So things that you could include, these were just right off the top of my head when I was making notes for the show today, is like fluoride-free toothpaste. Sometimes people just don't know where to go. One of my favorite toothpaste is from Aura Wellness, ORA. I'll put the link in the show notes. But Aura Wellness, I have been using that toothpaste for years. I have no cavities. My husband has no cavities. Like, our teeth are perfect. Every time we go to the dentist, they're like, what are you doing? We say, we know we floss probably 5 times a week because I forget. But we floss pretty regularly and we eat good and we use this toothpaste. And I mean, we just don't have any issues. It's amazing. So finding little things like that. What about like deodorant? Hair conditioner, hair shampoo, soaps, lotions, things for like even not nail polish, but like a cuticle oils. For women, we love that stuff. We just do. Even like a healing balm or something that's like a first aid-y kind of kit. Maybe that's not Band-Aids necessarily, but like Standard Process has a product called USF ointment. It will heal anything. That and chlorophyll ointment. Chlorophyll will stain your skin. The USF won't. But that USF ointment, I'm telling you, it is flippin' amazing when you have a break in the skin. It will heal anything. So you could even do like salves, healing salves or herbal teas, or you could do like kitchen products. In fact, right before I got on here, I opened up a couple of tabs. I'll read a few things. So I went on to Fullscript, because this is one of the ways that you could do this. I went on to Fullscript, and I'm always in there just looking around at the supplements to see if there's anything else I might want to add in that like Gaia doesn't have or Standard Process doesn't have or something. And they have under their wholesale. You don't want to look under the regular products. You want to look under the wholesale. But in the wholesale side, they have a whole section on oral health. So they have toothpaste, and I don't like mouth rinses, not my favorite, but oral care products like, toothbrushes and floss and picks and that kind of thing. They have face care. They have food and beverage, which is herbal teas, honey, sweeteners, spices, salts, They have snack bars, they have pantry samples, they have oil. Some of the categories, they don't have very many things. They have a bath and body care that's like infant and sun care and deodorants and insect repellent. And then they have a pet section and a feminine health section. I mean, you can find all kinds of stuff in there and you could just straight up fulfill right straight from Fullscript. Because when you can do that and purchase from them wholesale, then you know that you can stay within your budget and the patient gets a great value and you're making money. You're making the money. There's another company called, you've probably heard of them, Mountain Rose Herbs. I used to have an account with them years ago and I really love them. They were based out of San Francisco. They might still be, but I used to drive by their facility all the time. And over the years, they've added more and more and more things to their website. And this would be a fabulous place for you to go source these things that they would normally be buying, that you could really create a beautiful little monthly subscription, like an auto ship for your patients. They've got essential oil stuff. They have bath and body things. They have like some culinary things. I'm looking at it right now. Like they have chili peppers and different like peppercorns and vinegars, and they have containers and home goods and teas and all kinds of things. And it's all very, very good quality. Like you don't have to worry about it at all. So I really like this as an option for you. You can check it. I'll put the link. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes. But these are, I want you to think of like non-clinical items. They're not supplements, just non-clinical items. So you could do like even I don't know, let's say you wanted to make nut milk and you could do that one. You could send them a bag of nuts and a nut milk bag and maybe create some little instructions for it. And that's what you deliver that month. And it's like a big surprise for them every month. And they trust you already. They're already working with you. It's just an easy way to be able to capture that revenue. And the patients feel confident that you've approved it. You're like, yep, this one is okay with me. And they're going to be like, okay, well, then that's what we're going to use. So again, you're just helping them. You're taking the decision-making process away from them and you're making it easier for them and solving a problem. You're providing them with things that they know they need, but they don't really know where to get it. It positions you as like the go-to resource. So let's talk about how you would set this up. I want you to understand this is not supplements, right? This is just non-clinical items that they would be buying somewhere else. So how do we set this up? First, I want you to think about choosing a theme. You can't be like all over the board or you're not going to solve a problem. What's the theme or what problem do you want to solve? You might want to even think about keeping it niche specific. So if you work with women, for instance, women and children, then the products might be things that are going to help mom have, a better time when she's cooking. Or maybe it's, I don't know, some kind of like an oven mitt or something that you find that's real novel and unique. And she's like, oh, that's kind of really cool. Like, I didn't know they made those like that. Like, I just saw one the other day and they were things, I didn't know this, that you literally just put on your fingers. I don't like the big oven mitts, the one, you put it all the way in and goes, oh, your arm is cut. They're heavy and I can't get them off. This was like something for your thumb and your fingers, and it was easy. You just grab the pan and pull it out, and I didn't feel like my whole hand is restricted. Never seen such a thing. I thought, dang, that's cool. So those kinds of things. So if you were dealing with moms and kids, you might do 1 month where you have like a special kids edition and you're going to do some coloring books and some toxic-free colored pencils or crayons or something like that. I mean, there's really no limit to the creativity that you can have in there. You could do watercolors. You could do whatever you want to do, right? But think about a niche. Like who are you giving this to? Is it women in menopause? Are they in reproductive years? Are they career women? Are they stay-at-home moms? Like, what is their space in life? How can you meet their needs? What are their needs going to be? So first, kind of decide who's your target audience. Who are you going to target? Then the next thing you want to do is think about no more than maybe 3, I would say 2 to 3 products that you want to deliver to them every month. And the reason I say 2 or 3 is because think about it. If I'm paying, let's just say I'm paying $79 a month for this and I get one thing in the mail, it's real easy for my brain to do that math. And I could look at the thing and say, I don't think this was worth $79. I'm going to cancel. If you have 2 or 3 things in the box, all of a sudden you think you get wowed. First, there's a wow response like, oh my gosh, there's like a box of tea and there's this oven thing and there's an herb roller. Oh my gosh, this is great. And you charged her $79 a month and she gets 3 things in there. Now she can't ascribe the price to a one thing, she doesn't know how much each of those things cost. Maybe your cost, you're charging her 79, and maybe your cost on all of those things was, I don't know, $40. But the retail to her would have been maybe 80 or 90, or your cost is 25 and the retail for her would have been 60. I don't know. But she's getting three things that she would normally have never gone out and purchased or not known to purchase. And you're giving them to her all together, all in one thing, and you're charging her one price. So stay away from one thing. That's my big recommendation. 3, if you really want to do more than that, you can, but I just think our brains work in odd numbers. We tend to think, okay, this is good. I have 3 things. So I like 3 things. Just don't do 1. 3 is really best. Okay, then you're going to decide how you're going to deliver it. So if you have a brick and mortar office, you can order all the things in. If you have 10 people in your, wellness membership, I'll just call it that, for like healthy home membership or healthy home something, rather, you can create the basket, however you want to deliver it, box in your office, and the patients can come pick it up if you have a brick and mortar. I kind of like that idea because you want them to come in anyway. If you have a hybrid practice, still might work. But if you're virtual, then you're going to want to use this through like Fullscript, or if you use like Mountain Rose Herb or something like that, you can order them in and box them yourself, or you can fulfill them somewhere else. Now, if you fulfill them just through Fullscript, you're just going to be a little bit more limited because they're probably not going to have the little oven mitt and the little, roller thing. So what you can do is you can just get some small boxes. You can get some of that crinkle paper, and you can put these items in with a little handwritten note, lay it on the top, seal it up, put the label on, and mail it out. Everybody loves getting a package in the mail. Now, it does turn you, if you're a virtual practice, it does turn you into a bit of a shipper. And I don't want that to feel stressful for you, but I also know that there's a lot of value that could be here. You could really grow this membership, this wellness membership. Give it a name, give it a sexy name. Ask Chatty, what should I name my thing? This is the person that it's targeted to. These are the types of things that I'm going to put in it. And here's my price point. What can I name this? And let AI give you some naming options, because you're going to, I'm kind of on the fly here. Wellness membership, definitely not sexy. So figure out how you want to deliver it. If you're in person, brick and mortar, that's a pretty easy one. If you're all the way virtual, you may need to ship or fulfill through a third-party site. I don't know, maybe Mountain Rose Herbs, and I'll put the link in the show notes, but maybe Mountain Rose Herbs has that kind of a program available. I don't know if they do or not, but you could, it's worth finding out. Then once you decide how you're going to deliver it, we really do need to figure out the price. So here's how I want you to think about the price. First of all, we have your cost, and then we have their price we charge them, and then we have the value. So there's 3 things to consider: the hard cost, what they're paying in the membership as being part of this, auto ship monthly wellness membership, auto ship or pickup, and then what the value is to them. So I'll use an example. Let's say that the box of tea to them is going to be $12. Okay, so that's the retail value. If they went to the grocery store and they bought it $12, okay, $12. Let's say it costs you $6. Okay, so there's your cost is $6. The value to them is $12. Let's do another one. Another one, your cost is $10 and the value to them is $20. We're just going to use a 50% markup for ease of math because I don't have this written down. I'm doing it in my head. So their value now is $22. Your cost is $16. Is that right? Did I do that right? 10, 20, 6, and 12. Yes. So $16. So you can add up your cost and their value, like their retail, your cost. So let's say you get your retail value up. You have 3 items and your retail value is, let's just say your retail value is $60, let's just say. And it's cost you roughly $30 for the 3 items that you're going to put in there. You have kind of a low end item, you have a middle end item, and maybe you put a little bit of a nicer item in there, some kitchen gadget or a spice or something like that. So let's say your cost is $30, her retail is $60. So are you going to just put her in there as a $60 membership? Oh, you're going to charge $79 a month for that. The reason is because I want you to add a profit buffer. I want you to add a margin on there. And here's why. Because what you don't know is what's going to happen with prices, right? You don't know. They might go up, they might go down. Probably they're going to go up. And that gives you a buffer. So I don't want you losing money. So you're not only making the profit, the difference between the retail and the wholesale, or the cost and the perceived retail, you're making that profit, you're putting it back into your pocket. But we also have a little bit of a buffer, because let's say 1 month, if you're trying to shoot for a $60 retail value for her, right? A perceived value for her. And let's just say 1 month you find something and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. And it pushes your hard cost up to like $37. Okay. So you're outside your kind of budget for the month. It's okay, because you still have that little bit of margin. Or maybe the thing you were going to buy that you planned on was like a Christmas item and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect. I'll order those next month. I'll get that all situated. And then all of a sudden the price goes up. You're like, you don't have time to look for another one. You now have some margin built in. So it's not a $60 membership to her. It's a $79 membership to her, because she's getting them in a box, and she's coming in your office and there's some like pretty paper with it, or a bag, or a little handwritten note. It's the experience and the time savings that she's paying for. She doesn't have to go figure out what toothpaste to use or what deodorant to use or whatever. You're just curating it and you're sending it to her, and that's worth a little bit of extra. It's like your professional fee for doing all of the work. So not only are we getting the margin, the profit margin, but then you're going to buffer that just a little bit. So that's how you price it. And then I always, as I mentioned, I always love putting in like a little personal touch. If you can, just do a little handwritten note, or maybe a printed card, or, enjoy your blank this month, or maybe you give them a little recipe with a little ribbon tied around it. I don't know. Just decide what you're going to do. It doesn't really matter, as long as there's some kind of a personal touch. And then how do you talk about this? So how do you say, hey, you want to join my wellness membership and I'll send you stuff every month at $79? You're going to have 0 people say yes. 0 people. So we have to use words to help kind of frame this. So we want to frame it from the perspective of it being convenient, and we're offering this service for you. So something like, we've curated our favorite go-to like home wellness products that will help support you and your family. So now you don't have to guess or try and figure out which ones are healthy, which ones aren't, which ones have good ingredients, which ones don't. We've done all the research for you. So this is your way to be able to have a toxin-free home, or non-toxic living. We're going to make it really simple for you. It's consistent every month. You're going to get to choose. You're going to get different products that you're going to be able to look at and sample. And if you love them, we can help you get them or point you to other places where you can get them. But at the end of the day, it's really for your long-term benefit. So you're now providing this as a service for them, not something that, oh, well, we can do it for you, but you could go buy them online. I mean, if they love the deodorant and they come back to you and they say, hey, my gosh, I love that deodorant. Where can I get it? You have 2 choices. You can either say, yeah, we carry it. I'll have it for you next week. Or you can just give them maybe an affiliate link to where you bought it, and then you get a little kickback. So there's that option too. That's a whole nother layer of additional revenue stream for you, is using affiliate links. So there's a way to language this with the patient so that it doesn't feel like you're just trying to sell them one more thing. We don't sell, we serve. And this is a service that you provide that helps them really be able to up their game at home with their home care, body care, things that have to do with the kitchen, their children, their lawn care, pet care. Like if you have a practice that has a lot of people have pets, there you go. I know a chiropractor in the Bay Area, and she's probably listening to the podcast. And she loves pets, and her patients know that she is certified as a pet chiropractor. So her patients bring their dogs in and she adjusts the dogs. She charges for that separately. Like, you're going to come in for a people adjustment and you're going to come in for a dog adjustment. It's great. So she just added a whole nother revenue stream. And now if she were to create this type of an auto ship, she could do pet membership. So you pay X amount of dollars, and every month you're going to get some holistic, natural, non-toxic chew toy for your pet that is like health aligned. So it's a way that you're just serving them. So, all right, that's all I got for you, but let's wrap this up. So you're going to reiterate this is one of the easiest ways for you to create an environment at home and in your life that we curate for you and pick the things that are going to help you live a healthier life. These are the things that you can do. You don't have to worry about, you're not touching their protocol, their supplement protocol. This is completely, completely separate. So I would tell you, start with one, just do one. I know one practitioner that actually has 3 different ones, and people can like subscribe to one of the 3, but that's advanced. Don't do that. Just pick one. Who are you going to serve, right? Pick your person you're going to serve. And then what's a problem that you're going to solve? Then you're going to want to name it and price it, decide how you want to deliver it, and then write up maybe some talking points about it. But remember, it's a service that you offer. It's a service. You're helping them. You're curating for them. You're doing the heavy lifting so that all they have to do is open the box and they know that what's inside is going to be clean and good for them. So there you go. That's what I got for you today. I hope you love this idea because I actually really do love it. Compared to last week, this one's a little bit more work, but I think that the long-term revenue from this one, the recurring revenue from this one is good because you're going to curate the items that you're going to send every month. Okay. And maybe you hire a VA that will help you. If you have a front desk staff, you have them help you. But you're going to find the places that kind of feel like they've got the, goods to be able to deliver to your ideal person. And once you curate it and you have it like all written out, it's beautiful because you just do it once. And let's say you have 10 or 15 people in there. If you have 10 people in and it's $79 a month, you just made $790. Your cost was probably $300. So you made $500. Sweet, right? It's all good. So how can you leverage that? How can you turn that 10 into 100? How can you talk about this in your community, even for people that don't work with you? Could this be a way that people that want to dip their toe in, maybe they're working with another chiropractor or another practitioner, but you have a service that you can provide that curates all of these things and you become like, ladies, they love to talk. We love to talk about this stuff. So they're talking about, oh my gosh, I got this box and it had this handwritten note, had the coolest thing, this gadget that takes your herbs and it chops them up for you so you don't get like rosemary all over your hands, just chops them right up for you. It's amazing. Or these glove mitt things for a hot pad in the oven. They're so cool. So all you got to do is get women talking, baby, and they're going to do the best advertising for you. So we want to capture that revenue that Amazon, Target, all the other places, they're getting the money. Let's bring it home. Help your patients have options that are non-toxic, good for them, and then you get to create the service or provide the service that helps them be able to have access to those products, and they don't have to go do any of the shopping, any of the heavy lifting. You do the whole thing. So there you go. If you are listening to this podcast and you are not on my mailing list, you need to be. So I don't ever talk about this, and I had a couple people that actually called, like, how do I get on your mailing list? And I thought, oh, snap, have not been talking about it. So all you have to do, go to rondanelson.com/join. That's it. Fill out the form. We'll add you to our email list, and then you'll get a link to the show notes after the podcast is ready. You'll get our regular emails that we send out, and we're not spammy and slimy and all that. We'll just keep in touch. That's all. rondanelson.com/join. Otherwise, have an amazing week. I'll see you next week on podcast.